All right, today we've got Rob Wood from ClicData. Rob, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.
Hey, Rob, so tell me a little bit about your role at ClicData and really what ClicData, solves in terms of a business problem.
So I'm the Vice President of Sales for North America with responsibility also with some of our Latin America resellers.
Okay.
The majority of my focus is US and Canada.
Okay.
What ClicData is an 8-year-old company. The product's been in development probably for 5 years, just over 5 years. We've been selling it for about 3 years. In our current state, in our current model with me running sales in North America, about 8 months.
Okay.
With the 60% of our customers are in North America. The rest are scattered throughout the world, with the majority of the remainder being in Australia and the UK and France.
Okay.
We're founded by a gentleman out of Canada, Telmo Silva. Telmo now lives in France with our production and development team out of Lille, France. And then we have our support organization in Toronto, Canada. And then my sales organization is in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay. Right.
So as far as what ClicData solves is, if you really kind of think about it, I always say that we do 4 things. We allow people to connect data, combine data, create dashboards, and collaborate with those dashboards. So connect, combine, create, collaborate. Really what that means is you can take data from any source and any type of data from any source and basically put it into a cloud-based data warehouse. So now you've got your accounting, you've got your sales, your CRM, if you're a manufacturer, your production information. We've got a customer that they're a very large parts distributor for Mustangs, and they have a pick, pack, and ship warehouse. They are able to put both their production, their shipping, and their financial and sales all on one dashboard that's displayed and refreshed every 10 seconds throughout the company. It allows people, I always use the analogy, if you're driving a car, you see everything you need in front of you. You don't see just your gas. You don't see just your speed. You see everything. Oh, and then you may not look at your, if you're my wife, you don't look at your gas that often until that little light comes on. Well, that's also what we can do. You can alert you when you need to look at stuff, not just always look at stuff. So it really allows people to focus on their KPIs and not reporting their KPIs, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Essentially a very strong business intelligence tool.
Absolutely it is. It allows basically data visualization, KPI visualization. We have a couple features that really allow people to share the data. We always say there's no point in doing all of this if you can't act on it. People have all these systems that you put a lot of data and a lot of inputs in, but then they don't report on those well. They don't have good reporting either natively, or they're not combining the reports as they should. What good is sales and payroll if you also don't have your HR and your production all under one place? So I always say it's KPI visualization with the ability to share. You can take a dashboard, one of our dashboards, create a very complex KPI solution on a single page and email it via a live link. It's a dynamic dashboard. People can play around with it. They can see it. They can share it with whoever they want. They can password protect it. They can IP whitelist it. There's a lot of things they can do about it. It makes it a pretty powerful tool. We always say if you can't share it, why bother reporting it?
Okay, very smart. So there've got to be other tools in the same space, right? That are in the business intelligence space, the dashboard space. And
it's crawling with them. Absolutely.
Yeah. So how is it that you differentiate yourself from those?
So a lot of our competitors are, the newer competitors are cloud-based. So we're 100% cloud-based. We're started as a cloud product. We've never been anything but a cloud product. We don't have an on-premise solution. There's no software to download. You can access it from any browser. It doesn't matter the device or the browser, if it's a Mac, if it's Safari, if it's your iOS on your phone, we have a native app. All those things can be accessed. The newer companies that are starting that are in a competitive space, they're all cloud as well. They see the value in it. They understand what's required there. Where they lack is the robustness of the engine to be able to do back-end queries, be able to do joins and merging of data. They don't have the robustness of the tools or the complete connectivity that we have. We connect over 1,000 different applications. We do JavaScript. We do APIs. We do OVC. We do web services, and we have native connectors. So there's such a breadth of ability for us to connect. The power of our engine, the flexibility, and the shareability makes us so much more superior than a lot of our newer competitors. the older competitors that have that robust tool just like ours, that are able to connect to everybody, they have a lot of really good, strong features. They're trying to, you can see in there, if you go to any of the user groups or categories that have to do with data intelligence, you'll see their advertisements where they're talking about moving to the cloud, migrating to the cloud. They're acting like using cloud is a new feature.
Sure.
And the problem is you have an on-premise server, and then you have a report server, and then you have this cloud storage. So your clouds, you have the stuff that's stored in the cloud, and then you have a report server that has to sit on somebody's real estate, and then you also have a license server basically in the back end. Some of our competitors, just to get started, is $15,000 to $30,000 hardware investment.
Right.
So our product is secured with the Microsoft Azure cloud. We're a partner with them. We're actually one of their first partners in this space. Every type of compliance you can think of, we follow along. We're super highly secure, and it's all because we've never tried to do an on-premise solution. It's always in the cloud.
Right.
When I talk to customers, they say, well, where do I download the software? There's no software to download. The cloud. It's a true cloud product.
Got it. And so what is the cost attached to your product?
Well, right now, our most popular plan is our team plan with our medium and large size enterprises, and that's $289 a month. But the department level or someone who is trying to get something done for a smaller company, $59 a month is a really robust package. It includes a good number of licenses, storage, refresh rates, all the data connectors, and it's a good place where a lot of people kind of jump in. Is at that point.
Okay. And as you said, there's so many different other competitors. It's essentially crawling, with like a bunch of other vendors out there. Are you seeing pressure in terms of pricing based on that?
We're not really seeing pressure in pricing. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. We're actually one of the lowest in the capability space we're in. So if you look at some of our competitors, to outfit a 20-person company with the solution, it's $2,000 a month. So we're have the same capabilities, and we're one of the lowest, if not lowest cost in the capability space.
Okay.
That's a good thing when I can get kind of in a bake-off. I always say, let me get into a head-to-head bake-off with somebody, I'll always win. The issue is, it's kind of like when you go to a store and you see a bottle of wine. Hey, I like this label, or I like that label. Well, this one's $22, this one's $34. Well, the $34 one must be better. So we run into that from time to time.
Sure.
One of the differentiators, though, that we really do is, like I said earlier, what good is creating these dashboards if you can't share them?
Right.
So we allow for the live links, which don't require a license. Now, if there's some security features you want on that does require a license. But we allow people to use a license however they want. If you get 25 licenses, that's 25 licenses that can be used as a viewer, an editor, an admin. We don't care. Share away. Use it how you want to. We always say it's your business. It's your data. Run it the way you want to.
Right. Right. Very cool. Talk to me about a particular client that's making use of your solution and is seeing significant value and has maybe made use of all the intelligence they captured through this dashboard environment they may not have been able to capture had they not been using the tool, and then we're able to actually make some produce some actions that actually generated some significant ROI, whether it was an efficiency, whether it was from a dollars perspective. But let's talk about a particular case study where they saw some significant value from having used ClicData.
So one of my favorite customers is a furniture manufacturer out of Texas. They're a 127-year-old company. It's family owned, and the name on the door is the guy that started it, and his grandson now runs it. And they had all these disparate systems. They had a point of sale for retail. They had a tracking and shipment system, because you can't just ship large quantities of furniture via FedEx. You have multiple freight carriers that go around with them. Then you also had production data. You had financial data. You had cash on hand, payroll, all those type of things. They were all in different systems. Plus you had this proprietary kind of scheduling for resources for their manufacturing of the furniture, whether it was the fabric or the wood or the labor involved. So we were able to connect to all that, and the owner of the company, he absolutely loves it, because he says, I can be in church, I can be at home, I can be at my kid's game, I can look at my phone, I can just look straight down and I know that that graph is green. That means my cash is good. That graph is red. I got to call my manufacturing manager and see what's going on.
Right.
He says that he's able to focus on doing things beyond what they've been doing for the last 127 years, because now he knows what he needs to look at instead of looking at everything to find out what's working and what's not. So what they've done is they've actually increased the efficiency in their use of cash because of this, and they've increased their efficiency in order time. In other words, they're getting to a much closer just-in-time inventory model. Keep in mind, this is a 127-year-old furniture manufacturer. It's high-end furniture, so they haven't had a lot of competitive pressure up until about 20 years ago.
Got it.
And a lot of companies that are entering that space are technology savvy. They weren't. So we were able to help them go into the technology space for a very low cost. Mm-hmm. And now they're able to, he's able to now, he's like, well, we never thought we'd do it, but we're now doing social media.
Right.
So, it allowed him to do other things to get into the kind of the space where he saw his competitors going. And it wasn't that they didn't have the ability to do it. Right. It was, how do you manage that? Right. That's the whole point of publishing dashboard. You don't need to change the oil till the oil needs to be changed. But if you don't have a gauge, you have to check it every day.
Right. Now they're able to make some really good decisions because everything kind of becomes all at one central point. That's significant value for them.
Right. And he calls the dashboard his director's pulse. And like he said, he goes, the other part about it is no one's arguing in meetings anymore about the data. They're talking about the performance.
Exactly. So what does next 2-3 years, what does ClicData look like?
So one of the things that ClicData has is we have a white label, an OEM program that's available, and where people can actually make our product theirs. So we have a company that they actually provide a source to large brokerage firms for mortgages. Okay. So they're able to provide a dashboard for every single mortgage broker that shows every outline of what deals they have pending, what's in play, what's closing, what's the money factor on each of those, where the profitability is on each of those. And it's a dashboard for each broker, and then that rolls up to the manager and rolls up to them. Well, they're using our product, and they've got their logo on it. It's their URL. It's 100% looks like theirs, and they're reselling our product.
I see.
So that's one direction where we're going. Another is we're really starting to align ourselves with some of the up and coming as well as kind of mid-level CRM programs, whether that's Infusionsoft or HubSpot or Sugar CRM. A lot of CRMs have one thing in common. They have crappy reporting. So we are able to come in over the top and provide a reporting solution for these CRMs who do a very good job of managing the single relationship at a single point along the line. But now we can create pipeline disposition reports, aging reports of pipeline. We can talk about performance based off of marketing, all those things we can lay on top. Because CRMs have a wealth of data, just really poorly way to visualize it and get it out of there. One of the companies that we just signed yesterday is a large medical publishing company that they switched to their current, they left their current CRM, went to a new CRM just because we partnered with that CRM because they wanted our solution.
Sure. Well, Rob, I've certainly learned a lot today, and I would certainly encourage, we do drive a ton of traffic to our website where people are looking for a business intelligence solution. So I would highly recommend our visitors to check out ClicData, and it's a low point of entry in terms of cost. So with a 7-8 year background, strong foundation in terms of the business intelligence space. So I would highly recommend our visitors to check out the solution and see if it makes a lot of sense. And I certainly very, very much appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate your time as well.
Thanks, Rob. Take care.